studied at all. So hopefully I can figure this out, okay? All right, well, welcome everybody. Who's super excited to be here today? I would love to know who has never been to a Super Saturday before. We have any first timers? Wow, check that out. That's amazing. Thank you guys for coming so much. So a little bit about myself. Like they gave me a great introduction. My name is Marsha Smrcka. A lot of people think that my name is misspelled. Yeah, I really do only have one vowel. It's my husband's fault. I am first and foremost a wife. We've been married almost 15 years, have 4 kids at home. When I started coaching, I had a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, 5, 6, and 4 kids under the age of 9 right now. So my family was still pretty young, and I came into Beachbody and found Beachbody because of the coaching opportunity. So I'm just really passionate about being here and sharing with you guys my experience as a coach and to share with you kind of how I've grown my business to a 6-figure business. Did it in 18 months, blew my mind, still blows my mind today. But I want you guys to just look at this as an opportunity that can really truly change your family's lives. Our topic for today is a family business. From day one, Beachbody was a family business for us, even though my husband he was my first coach. He's a discount coach basically, but he helps me, which I'll talk about. Does not actively run the business, but we saw this as an opportunity to change our life. We were living not an ideal situation. I basically felt like a stay-at-home mom with 4 young kids at home. He was working an hour away every day, long hours, 12 hours or more a day. We never saw him. My kids would ask me every night, we can cry about this, but every night they would ask me if they were going to see their dad, and I had to tell them no, that they wouldn't see him that night. He would be home for dinner. I would tuck him in. And we did that for as long as we were coaching. And it just, we had very little money. I was a stay-at-home mom, so before coaching, I was a stay-at-home mom for 7 years. We made the decision for me to leave my career to raise our kids. And so during that time, my husband was our only provider for the family. He made decent income, but it didn't go very far with driving, wear and tear on the vehicle and things like that. So I was not on any social media at the time, but my husband was. So he is the one who actually introduced me to business and to Beachbody through a friend that he went to high school with. So this is why I teach my team, like don't overlook, someone who might not be in your target niche. If it's, if you're mainly working with females, women, it might be the spouse of somebody who sees your post that says, talks to their wife, like, this might be a great opportunity. It's what happened to me. If my upline coach wasn't posting about it and wasn't friends with my husband, I wouldn't be here today. So let's see, what else can I say about myself? From a very small town, rural Wisconsin. I grew up on a dairy farm. My neighbors are Amish and Mennonite. Sunday rush hour traffic is Buc-ee's. No joke. So again, I didn't have any social media experience whatsoever, so a lot of people might use that as an excuse, like I don't have any marketing experience, I don't have a network of friends, I wasn't on Facebook, I literally was not running a Facebook account, I had no social media following. So if these things are going through your head or people that you're talking to, that's just an obstacle to overcome, and it's a skill that you can learn and develop. It's not an excuse, all right? If you want something bad enough, you're going to do what you need to do to make it happen. Alright, so that's enough about me. Alright, so today I want to talk about some steps to setting the stage for success in your family business. And these are the things we're going to talk about today. So I really want you guys to have a notebook, pen and paper. You're going to be writing down a lot of notes that you're probably going to refer back to, I hope, after this training. I don't want you just to be sitting here being a listener and to forget it tomorrow. Alright, so be a sponge today and share it with your team. Really reflect on it. Share it with your families. Okay, how many of you guys here are married and have a spouse? Okay, perfect. And how many have a significant other? If you're not married, maybe you have a significant other that shares the business with you. Okay, so that's really what we're going to focus on today, is how to be a team, with you or your significant other and build this thing on, okay? Alright, so I am willing to bet that every single person in this room wants to be a successful coach. Am I right? Show of hands. Who wants to be a successful Beachbody coach? Alright, so in order to answer that question, you almost have to ask yourself, what does that mean to you to be a successful Beachbody coach? Because that definition is going to be different for everybody. For me, it was to dig ourselves out of financial debt. We had over $30,000 worth of debt. We had student loans. We had credit card debt that we couldn't even pay the minimum balance on, right? So that was my why, and to change our family's life so that my husband could be home, closer to home, working a job that he loved, and could see our family and go to school events with our kids and to have dinners with us was something so foreign. Like, that was what drove me every single day to work my business, even when I didn't want to. To be a successful coach to me, it was financial. I'm not going to be honest. Of course, I wanted to help people, but your why has to be more deep than just wanting to help people. We all want to help people, and that has to be the core of every decision that we make in our business. But it has to be something that makes you cry. You guys saw me break down talking about my kids. My kids are my why. I want to be able to do things with them and for them that I didn't have the opportunity to do growing up. Growing up in a dairy farm, we never were able to take trips overnight. Our annual vacation was to come to Wisconsin Dells, here we are, to family land, and we had to plan it so that we had to leave right after chores, early in the morning, and packed our lunch in the cooler in the back, and we had to leave, in time to make chores in the evening. So that was our vacations. I wanted more for my kids. I wanted to be able to have the freedom and to be able to stay overnight and take them, have that freedom of my time. All right. All right, so I want you guys to see yourself where you want to be and create a vision for yourself and your life. And this is something that I feel is a skill that you need to develop. I really, truly did not know how to dream and how to goal set before I started coaching. I wasn't reading personal development. I read Dean Koon's books. That was the extent of my reading. But, so how you do that is, okay, hold on, I got that up here. Okay, we're gonna get into how to create a vision for yourself later. All right, consistency in your business. I feel is so important, and why? Because when success loves speed, I tell this to my coaches all the time. When you're building momentum, when you're starting something new, you're excited. Everything is fresh. The ideas that you have, they're fresh and new. And when you work with that momentum, you don't have to work as hard, I feel. So, if you stop and start and stop and start, you're starting over every single time. I feel like when you're starting out, please keep your why close to your heart, keep it visual where you see it every day, and just go with it. Don't let the foot off the pedal. Because that's just really going to help you in the long run. Your Facebook affinity, will stay high when you're posting consistently every day. You stop posting for a few days, you start posting again, your posts aren't going to be seen by anybody, right? So even if it's an engagement post, keep doing what you know is going to build your business and move your business forward. When you are helping people hitting Success Club every month, you're introducing new people in your business every single month, and those are coaches that you're going to help build business, or they're challengers that you're going to help get results. And you can share those on your newsfeed and on your timeline, and proof is, in the pudding, right? People love success stories. When you're helping people, you have more success stories to share, and it's just going to gain more interest among your followers. I want to make an analogy with you. So, is your store open all the time? Or is it, whenever you feel like it? And what I mean by that is talking about consistency. When you go out to go shopping, are you going to stop at a store that you know for sure is going to be open? Maybe not Walmart, that's a different store. Or are you going to first think of a store that you don't know if they're going to be open or not? So think of that in terms of your business. Do people know your store is always open? Are you the person that they think of when they want help with their health and fitness, or when they're struggling financially and need a solution? The more consistent you are, the more you share about what you do, people are going to think to you first, and that's what you want in your business. You want people to automatically go to you and know that your store is always open, that you're always there to help them. The first book that I ever read, which probably many of you have, is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And the very first summit that I ever attended, he was the keynote speaker. And I didn't realize at the time, because I was still a pretty new coach, who he was or what book he wrote. I really didn't know. I'm like, oh, everyone was talking about how awesome he is. Okay, that's cool. But that first summit, I was right talk about failure and success. I think so many people are paralyzed by this fear that what if I don't succeed, or what if I'm not as good as that person, or what if I try this and it totally flops. The thing is, what Darren Hardy explained made so much sense to me now looking back more than it did at the time, because I had a lot of coaching experience to understand what he meant. You guys still hear me, okay? But he's talking about the pendulum shift between the failure and success. And in order to experience great success, you also have to experience great failure. So reflecting on that, I think really set me up to not have a fear of failure. It made my decisions and my actions more bold. I wasn't afraid to fail. And if I did, which I still have many failures, you learn from them, and they're a learning tool, like how can I do that differently to get a different result, right? So it's just all part of the process, and I think we need to embrace failure and know that it's just going to help us be a better coach on the other side, right? That's my phone. I know it's everywhere. You guys have to know that I really do not like public speaking. This is the first time ever that I don't have notes, but I tried doing this on my phone. And I was thinking, oh, it's pretty clever. Except when my phone went times out and I had to log in again. Alright, so thinking about the compound effect, okay, I want you guys to sit and reflect and think about a time when, in your life, when you were purposefully and consistently acting on some behavior for a desired outcome, okay? It could be, maybe you were in college and you were studying for an exam, all right? So you studied and studied and studied to hopefully get an A on your test. Or maybe it was your very first Beachbody program ever. You wanted to start and finish and get the best results you possibly could. So you just tracked everything. You did every single workout. You tracked every meal. So think about what that was in your life. And what was the outcome when you focused on just that one thing and gave it all your intensity, all your passion? Every decision that you made was to achieve some desired outcome, okay? So what behaviors, when you were during that time, can you duplicate in your business? What would happen if you gave it that same intensity for 30 days in your business? Maybe your goal was to help 20 people or 10 people in the month. And every day you woke up with that passion, that thought in your mind that this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to look for one person to help. I'm not going to stop until I achieve that. Right? So this is what you need to think about when you're getting your business off the ground. Like, this is a business and it can be seriously life-changing. And you can't work it as a hobby one day and work it as a business the next day. You have to really go all in and commit to the business and then figure out how later. All right? I want to give you an example. Right, so I'm a runner. I don't do as much now because of Beachbody. Working out from home for 22 minutes is way too convenient. But I still love to run. All right, before Beachbody, that's all I did is I ran. I thought you had to run, 6 miles a day to burn calories, and that's what I did. So my sisters are runners also, and they were signing up for this half marathon. The longest distance I'd ever run was 6 to 8 miles tops, and my knee would start hurting when I get that distance, so that I never had any ambition to run farther than 5 or 6 miles. Well, peer pressure gave in, and I registered for the 5K, which is only 3 miles if those of you guys who are runners. And I felt kind of okay, I'm running this 3 mile, and we're running 13.1. What am I doing? I'm just gonna do it. My sister's knee was also giving her trouble at the time, and I wanted to do it with her, but I didn't train for it. All right, so I went into this, no training, but I committed to it. I'm you know what? I'm gonna make the most of it. I'm just gonna do it. And I finished, and I felt great. I had to walk for one stint, but the sense of accomplishment after finishing it was so awesome. And now that's my favorite distance to run. But the point is, I committed to it 100%. There was no option not to finish, right? When you're on a trail, you're not gonna just stop and walk the rest of the way, or you're not gonna turn around and go back, So I almost want you guys to think about your business as a one-way street. There's no going back. You have to finish. What's the alternative? There is none. Okay, if you guys have it in your head that, well, if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna go to that, get rid of that, and then what happens? You're left with this change your entire family, okay? I did really good in that half marathon too, by the way. I think my pace was like an hour, on the way was 2 hours. It was fun. All right, so let's go back to our slides here. Okay. So who knows what the 3 vital behaviors are? Let's shout them out. Who knows what the 4th vital behavior is? What's your question? Recognition. Right, what are the first 3?
Personal development. Proof the product works.
All right, proof the product works. Personal development. Inviting and recognition. All right, very good. So what would you do differently in your business if you knew that was the roadmap to success? That would take you directly to your definition of success that we talked about earlier. Do you think you might do things a little differently and work them a little, like get to know how to master them a little bit deeper? If you knew there was no way you would fail if you did those 4 things every day. Do you think it's hard to talk about the business? Do you think it's hard to read a book? Is it hard to do a workout? Who thinks it's hard? Some days maybe, but most days not, right? It's just the consistency of doing them every single day repeatedly. And sometimes I think because they're not hard to do, it's also easy to not do them. Because we think, well, if I miss today, I can just do double tomorrow. Or if I work out, if I miss my workout today, I'll just do double tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and something comes up and something gets in the way and we don't do double tomorrow. All right, so try to focus on, how can you get yourself organized and committed to those activities every single day that you will not miss them. All right, and the same with our workouts. Personal development, guys, has been huge. I would not be standing up here today if I had not been reading personal development for 2 years. Still don't like to be up here, but I'm not the same person as I was when I started coaching. There's no way in hell, excuse my language, that I would have been up here 2 years ago, talking in front of, I don't know, like 100. I've been in the Pittsburgh training, talking to 1,000 people. It's not me, guys. You learn the skills that you need to do as you advance and as you grow. All right. One thing I do that I love, I should recommend here. So personal development, compounds over time the same as our fitness goals. Commit to doing it daily. I do love audiobooks. So some people, say I just don't have time to sit down and read a book, or I'm not a good reader. I don't like to read. There's no excuse. You can find stuff on YouTube. You can download audiobooks. I listen to the Shalene Show podcast. Usually when I'm traveling, for some reason or other, when I'm getting ready, I always have my phone in the bathroom, and that's what I listen to. It's not Pandora like that. All right, and then how to find good ones. Just go to your podcast app and type in like personal growth or leadership skills. Whatever you feel like you need to develop, just type it in and do a search and see what pops up. Talking too slow here. Right. Invite your family to be a part of the product and actively participate and commit to your own journey. So when you have transformations to show, it just gives proof that the products work, right? So it proves that one vital behavior. My husband, like I said, he's not a coach. Well, he's a coach, but he's not working business. But he has been my biggest supporter from day one. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't know about coaching. And he has been very actively, he thinks of friends that he knows who would be a good coach or a good customer, and he's giving me referrals all the time. He drinks Shakeology every single day and has good transformation just with drinking Shakeology. He did commit to do a challenge group with me this month, 22 Hardcore. So far he's on week 2. Has good results so far, so we'll stick with it. But get your significant other on board, because that's just another success story for you guys to share, right? Sometimes it can be hard to work with someone who's your family member, but he's that way. All right. One thing that you can do for family members, anyone in your warm market actually, especially this is really easy to do when you're first starting out. So all of you new coaches, this is your first Super Saturday. I want you guys to think about doing this for your warm market. So that's anyone who's like a family member, a close friend of yours, someone you have a good relationship with. Ask them for a testimonial. Ask them if they would be willing to help you start your new business for 30 days and drink Shakeology and do a 22-minute workout every day, 6 days a week. Get arrested. Make it sound like a good thing. I'll even give you a rest day. And see if they will help you. And it's all how you word it. I mean, if it's a family member, chances are if you say, I really could use your help with this, they're not going to say no. All right? So that can be a way for you to achieve your emerald advancement or your successful goal. And then use their testimonial and how they feel after drinking Shakeology for a month, after working out for a month. All right, number 4, we're going to talk about credibility. Do what you know is right, even when no one is looking or would know any different. And that is one thing I strive to do in my business every single day, is just to be, maintain integrity in my business. And there are some things, because we are working behind a computer, we're not working with other people directly, everything is virtual. Nobody maybe would know, what you were doing behind the scenes. We talk a lot of times, because our team is very close-knit, like probably everyone's is. There's a lot of overlap with friends. So what happens when someone responds to one of your challenge group posts and you know they have a coach already, or maybe, if they're asking for your help and you know that, your friend is a coach and they're working with them already. Just be transparent, communicate, keep the lines of communication open. Do what you know is right in your heart. How would it feel for you to be on the flip side of things and have someone prospect one of your customers? It sucks that there are both sides of that. But just as long as you talk about it and maintain that open line of communication and think about every decision that you make, you're maintaining integrity in your business. This is one thing that I wish I would have done a little better when I started out, is respecting your family time. Be reliable, do what you say you're going to do. My husband was very resentful of Facebook and my computer time, which how many of you guys can relate with that? Spouses say, why are you always on the computer? Why are you on the phone? And I think a big part of that was when I first started, we didn't communicate very well. So what we have done differently now going forward is every Sunday night we have a family business meeting where we look at my calendar and I let him know when my team calls are for the week. I let him know when I'm going to need his help, if I have to prepare for slides for something, or if I need him to run the kids to their dance class or whatever. We communicate that a week in advance. I'm not just springing it on him. I use a Google Calendar, which I think we'll talk about later. But I love Google Calendar. I have it color-coded. My family time is in yellow. And I do not schedule appointments during that time. Sometimes there's exceptions, but I really try to turn my computer off. I turn my phone on airplane mode, which I use a lot, so that it's not dinging at me and I'm not distracted, not tempted to check my messages. But I really honor our family time from the time the kids get off the bus until they go to bed. I'm not working. My kids need that from me, and I need to give that back to my family. We also try to do regular date nights, which we've just been so busy traveling that we haven't done that. But just making sure that your marriage and your relationship is healthy, and that's going to help just communicate what you have going on. All right, personal development suggestions. We talked about the compound effect. That was one of my first ones. Highly recommended if you haven't read it. My very first one was Take the Stairs by Roy Vaden, and that one was a really easy read, along the similar lines. But it talked about doing things that are hard, even though you might not want to do them. You still do them because you know it's going to make a positive impact in your life. So I really love that one also. Go Pro. Probably a lot of you guys have read that one also. Oh, I just finished the 10-time rule. I was going to talk about that one too by Grant Cardone. That was a really good book. It talked about just like, how I talked about momentum in the beginning of the presentation. Really pushing things, think big, dream big. Don't settle for mediocrity. When you push yourself higher, you shoot for the stars, or shoot for the, how does that saying go? Shoot for the moon, settle in the stars, I don't know, something like that. All right, so developing a winning attitude. Taking ownership of your business or organization. Stop waiting for success to fall in your lap. Guys, if you're waiting for it, it's not going to happen. You got to make it happen. Your actions are going to be what determines your level of success. Right? No one is going to hand it to you. You're not going to have that magic upline sponsor coach who is going to make it happen for you. It comes from within. Motivation is an inside job, guys. You got to find that deep within yourself and want it and make it happen. Okay? And act like the coach that you aspire to be. Create vision for your life that you're working towards. So I think we're going to talk here about how do you create that vision. to back up a little bit. All right, so I want you to think about what things you do currently that you rely on others for, that you can do yourself to help you become a better coach. So things that come to mind for myself is it was a really scary thing for me when I first started to run my own challenge group. Because I started out for the business opportunity, remember? I was never in a challenge group. I didn't even know Facebook. I didn't know you could have a private group on Facebook. I had no idea. So the thought of running my own challenge group was really scary. But in my second month, I had enough people to run my own group, and I wanted to do it. Was it scary? Yeah. Was it an awesome group? Heck yeah. It was probably the best group I ever had. Because I had full accountability for it. It made me a better coach. So just because something is scary doesn't mean you should back away from it at all. It probably means you should go the other way and do it. If it's scary, it's probably a good thing. It's going to push you outside your comfort zone and help you be a better coach. Same thing you said with running your own coach training groups. If you have enough coaches to run your own coach training group, do it, guys, because the person signed up with you for a reason. They're going to connect with you, not your upline. Don't dump them in your upline's coach group. They're going to totally get lost and they're not going to check in. All right, they want you to be their mentor. That's why they signed up with you. So do a good job getting them started right. And if you need help, then you talk to your upline and say, do you have a good posting guide that I can borrow from you? Or can I be a fly on the wall in your group so that I can learn and apply that to my own coaching group? It's going to make you a better coach. Be resourceful, right? Seek out your answers and share the solutions with your team. That's going to help you be seen as a leader in your team. And it's going to feel good to have the answer that someone else might be looking for too. Guys, Google, YouTube, the FAQs, they're there for a reason. They're your friend. Get familiar. All right, so create a vision for your life. You know, that sounds like kind of a simple thing, but really, I don't think it is. This is where I want you to take notes, okay? So how do you create a vision where you have no idea where this could take you? That was me when I started out. I had no idea how much income I could earn or how many people I could help or how to grow a team. You just don't know, right? So I want to help you kind of go through the steps to how to create a vision for your life. What you can see is what you can be. So I was thinking on that and reflect on that for a minute. What you can see is what you can be. Do you think the vision makes the leader, or does the leader make the vision? 89% of what we learn is visual. So for that reason, I think the vision is what makes the leader. The vision has to come first. You have to have a vision if you know where you're going, right? People will not follow a dream itself, but they will only when you have a dream and the ability to communicate it effectively, right? That's when you're going to grow your influence. There are 4 vision levels of people. I don't have a slide for this, so I want you guys to write this down, okay? There's 4 vision levels of people. Number 1, the first vision level, some people never see the vision, unfortunately. They just never see it. Maybe they're not surrounded by the right people. They just don't believe in themselves enough. They never see the vision. The second one, some people see it, but they never act upon it, they never pursue it. The third one, some people see it and pursue it. Those are achievers. And the fourth one, the last one, some people see it, they pursue it, while also helping others see it. And that's a leader. And just because your rank is coach, your rank is emerald, your rank is 5-star diamond, what is in your coach online office is your rank doesn't determine your leadership, guys. It's what's inside, how you act every day with your business, how you treat your business, how you treat others. You know, that's what determines your leadership, okay? And you have to know where you're going in order to persuade others to follow and establish a shared vision and mission. So that's your tribe, that's your team, that's your dream team. Other people who want to be on your team for the same mission, right? So when you share your vision, it's going to be, your business is going to just be so much more fun. You know, we talked about that last night at dinner. You know, when you start developing a team of working coaches and you all are working towards the same goal, it just makes this business so much more fun. All right, you have to have a vision. You see where you see what you are prepared to see. So perception. And I think about this in terms of when I signed up. For me, when I found out about the business opportunity, it was perfect timing. I had a desperate need that Beachbody couldn't solve. All right, it was the income. We needed more income. we needed my husband to be able to be closer to home. So I was actually an easy sale, put it like that. Once I found out about it, I was like, what's bad about this? Everything is right. I have no option but to try it. So some people that you might talk to as prospects, maybe they're saying no because timing is not right for them. That doesn't mean you should give up on them. Follow-up, guys, is so important. I've talked to coaches on my team probably, I don't know, like the front row is on my team. It wasn't always yes with the first invite. So, think about that. Just don't give up on people. If you see that Beachbody could be a solution for them, don't give up on them. It has to be, they have to be ready to see the opportunity. Bobby Beal said the difference between a winner and the loser's mentality is that winners focus on winning big. Not just how to win, but how to win big. Losers don't focus on losing, they just focus on getting by. So ask yourself, is this Beachbody coaching business, is this something to get you by? Or do you see it as an opportunity to really truly be life-changing for what it can be? And to use it to dream big and a tool that can really get you to your success and to your vision. So I want to go back to the levels of vision, the 1, 2, 3, and 4. What vision level do you currently function at? Are you striving to survive, or are you really out to make a truly significant influence, difference? And what can you do differently? All right, so here's where we talk about your vision. If you had anything you wanted, unlimited time, unlimited money, unlimited resources, you had staff to help you, what would you do? This is your dream. And I want you guys to make it worthwhile. And I want you guys to write this down. This is my dream. If you had anything you wanted, unlimited money, unlimited time, if I had blank, I would blank. Why don't you write that down? All right. So followers find the leader and then the vision. Do you believe that? Followers find the leader and then the vision. Leaders find the vision and then the people. You have to have a vision to know who you want to bring with you, right? But you also have to be the leader that has the vision. Great visions begin as an inside job. I think you need to combat eternal doubt and fear through personal growth. Personal development is probably the #1 overlooked vital behavior. If you can honestly answer yourself, am I committing to at least 10 minutes a day of personal development every day? As a new coach, I wasn't. I can honestly say, I thought, well, I don't need to do that. But I can tell you one thing, that has probably been the biggest impact on my business. It's what changed me the most and has grown myself the most. All right, so there is a difference between a person with a vision and a visionary. A visionary does little, talks much. How many of you guys know a visionary? They're all talk, no action. A person with a vision talks little, acts, does much. Okay? A visionary finds strength from outward conditions. How many of you guys know people like that? They're a follower, they can't seem to be self-motivated. Do things just to get their own personal gratification. They need some kind of outward stimuli to get them going and get them motivated. My husband's kind of like that sometimes. A person with a vision finds strength from inner conditions. It comes from within. You seek satisfaction from just succeeding with whatever it is that you're doing. A visionary quits when the road gets difficult. A person with a vision continues when problems arise. Problems are just another way to come up with a creative solution. I almost think of it as a challenge. And I love it when I get to problem solve and say, oh, how can I get on that? Or, getting an objection from a customer. It's kind of like, how long is it going to take me before that person says yes? Or what do I have to do before they're going to agree that this is the best thing for them? All right, #3, trim the fat of those things in your life that aren't conducive or of your success, and find your hidden minutes. I can guarantee you guys all have hidden minutes somewhere. When I started coaching, I used to grow 2 huge gardens, and I loved to garden. I live out in the country. That's kind of one of the reasons why I moved out in the country. But for the last 3 years, we've had gardens. Like every year, it's gotten increasingly worse. Like I still have weeds in the garden from last year. Like I couldn't keep doing it all that I had been doing. So we've tried to scale way back in certain areas of our life because growing a garden is not going to grow my income. Doing laundry, although it used to really bother me to have a messy house and a dusty house and laundry, you know, it's not what's going to help me find more people to help. So I don't do laundry as much as I used to, probably admittingly, like way less than I need to. But those are good things that you can outsource, right? Because I mean, you're like they're cleaning your house. We were paying someone $30, I don't even know, like a week, you know, to clean our house. And it's like, okay, that's like less than one challenge pack. If I can use my time, you know, 3 hours a day or a week, you know, that would take me to clean my house, to build my business, you know, that's going to get me further ahead in the long run than spending time cleaning my house. So that was one thing that was on my dream board actually. Like I wanted a house cleaner, so that went on my dream board. What are 3 things that you currently do that eat up your time? Is it TV? I don't watch TV because I feel like, okay, that's not going to change my life tomorrow if I watch this show. Sorry guys, I'll do that, like, TV. What other things did I give up? Garden, TV. So if you can pull together, you know, 5 hours of your time somewhere with the fat minutes, you know, that aren't conducive to your goals, you know, what would that do? 5 extra hours a week, 3 extra hours a week. If you really had that focused time on your business, you know, what would that do? Compound it over time in, you know, say 6 months. The other thing that I love to do is start my day with prayer and positive affirmations. The podcast I mentioned, I love the Shalene Show podcast. This one, the Darren Daily. Do you have any guys use Darren Daily? Love it. Every morning at 7 o'clock, I get a text message from Darren Daily. And it's something like short and sweet, 5 minutes or less, video. It's usually something texted, just to start my day out right. And I love that. Be more confident. I have a reminder on my phone, 9 a.m. It's kind of like the Pavlov's, like, you know, saliva, you know, test or whatever they did. 9 o'clock, you know, be more confident. Okay, we do that. And we all need those little reminders. Right, we kind of talked about personal development. Let's drill that in. All right, so I think a lot of us want to hear about how to incorporate your spouse into your business or your significant other. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Consider whether there is any part of your business or other responsibilities that your spouse can take over. So I've been coaching, it'll be 3 years, July 31st. Never in my life would have imagined that I would be our sole provider and be able to allow my husband to retire from his job at the age of, 38, 39. We are like right on the brink of making that decision to bring him home from his job. And am I scared? Yes. Do I know we can do it? Yes. But it's taking that leap. So we are talking, you know, what can he do to free up my time so that I can focus more on my business and grow my team? And it's things like he wants to be a host dad. He wants to spend time with the kids this summer. He wants to take them on, you know, fun day trips. He wants to clean the house. He wants to make dinner. And he wants to do all the things that I don't have time for. You know, he recognizes that this business is where the greatest income potential is. He is not going to get a pay increase this year. If he gets 2%, that'd be amazing. So it's kind of silly, you know, to put your energy in the business that's going to produce the most for you, right? So the key to getting your spouse on board, does anyone have a non-supportive spouse or significant other? All right. One thing that I can say probably to help is to get them to events. Are there a spouse partner here today who's unsupportive? Yeah, it's okay. Or Teresa, it's all right. So my husband he was on board, but his eyes were opened at our first Beachbody event that he attended with me, and it really totally helped that it was a cruise, so I can't deny that. But I won the cruise for him and I, it was like 2 years ago. We went to, what were our stops? The Grand Canyon, I think he's one of them. But him meeting Carl Legler talk for the first time, and being surrounded by, you know, the Beachbody community. You know, we had no idea what to expect. That was really my first trip too, you know, with other coaches. And you know, you just picture the Baywatch, like everyone's gonna have 6 walking around wearing a bikini and high heels. You know, that's kind of the vision you have in your mind. When I first heard about Beachbody, I thought, how conceited for a company to call themselves Beachbody. Like, I just couldn't figure that out. Why would you want to do that? So that's what I had in my head, going into this cruise, that we'd be totally like a fish out of water, out of place, and we didn't have six-pack. That's not what he recognized. We had the biggest impact was talking to other coaches, other like husband-wife couples who were working this business together, and they both left their jobs. And to us as brand new coaches, well, I was dying then. I was like, wow, that just seems so foreign to me that you could really have a family business and both leave your jobs. And they were like, in finance or like had good jobs. It's like, wow, really? So I think going to events and having those conversations really opens your eyes to the possibilities. If you don't ever get there, I preach to my team, like, get to events. It's going to help you in so many ways that you can talk about on social media. You have aha moments, takeaways. Even if it's a horrible training, even if the training sucks that I'm doing up here, guys, and it doesn't, but even if it does, you're probably going to have some good takeaway that you can go back and say, yeah, that what she said made sense there. Maybe it didn't, but maybe thought about it afterwards and I did it later. But get your spouse to events if you can, because they need to also see why you're working on the computer every day, what you're doing on your phone. Get them in challenge groups if you can. My husband's in a challenge group. He totally understands why I'm checking in at 9:30 at night when he would rather be watching TV with him or something. He knows I'm checking with my challengers, and during the day I'm checking with my coaches. He's been on team calls for us, talking about his role in the business. Getting him included on team calls, like it makes him feel good, like he has a part in this. And also how I word things too. It was really easy for me to slip up and say my business. And I could see the hurt in his eyes, like, wow, I'm making sacrifices here too. I'm watching the kids when you're working, or I'm sacrificing our time together in the evenings. Like, this really is our business. So I always refer to it as our business. Even though he's not working it, he's doing things that are invaluable to me and helping out in other ways. So it always is our business. It's our money. There are dreams that we're chasing here. So, okay, I'm kind of skipping around. So invite your spouse on calls. Okay, your kids. How many of you guys have kids and are like, Mommy, would you snuggle with me? All right, I kind of get that too sometimes. My kids, like my youngest is now 3. So she was less than 1 when I started. So she's always kind of seen what I do. It's the older ones who had to go through that transition who it took me more explaining. All right, so my oldest is 9 now. And he's our only boy. I have 3 girls, and Aiden is my oldest. And he's like my biggest supporter. So he knows like why I do what I do. He's like, yeah, Mom, it's so awesome what you do to help people. And he totally gets it. He loves to do the workouts. He knows Mommy's strong because I work out. I'm kind of getting in competition sometimes. Daddy needs to get strong too. Like, yes, he does. But he's proud of the work I do. So, he understands that my business has purpose, all right? It also gives us freedom. They were able to come on the cruise with us, and for the first time we took our kids on one of the successful trips. And it was amazing. So many firsts for them. It was the first airplane ride, the first time seeing the beach, the first time being on a cruise. And to be able to experience that with them and give that to them. And they're 8 and 9 years old and they have passports. That's just crazy, right? So he knows that I'm working for purpose. It's not only to help other people, but it's to help our family to do things that we wouldn't be able to otherwise. Alright, setting the stage for success for creating a daily and weekly schedule. This is one thing I talked about. Communication with your significant other is key. They have to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. So we have a meeting every week. I go over what my schedule is for that week, because every week it can be different, right? And then I have that designated family time set aside, so they know, when I'm not going to be working. And even just seeing it on paper, it's reassurance to my husband that, okay, I'm going to get some of her time too. We also talk a lot about talking we talk a lot about our future dreams and goals. Because, like, you grow together. Since I've been doing personal development and running my own business, it's opened his eyes up to possibilities that never would have been there either before. He wants to open up his own business as a full-time potter. And he's always had a passion for ceramics, and his major in school was art. But since graduating from college, he was always in education. So this opportunity, he knows now we're so close, that this can also be the tool that's going to help him pursue his passion and dream to do what he wants, open his own business. And I don't think he would have had guts to do it before. So you grow together and really truly have dreams together. All right. Working off the list, so that you're focused. There are plenty of days, and I can be the first to admit it, where I go to bed at night, it's like, man, what did I even do today? I felt like more of a manager of my team and answering questions than doing what I needed to do to move my own business forward. And as you grow your team, that becomes easier and easier to do because we care about our coaches and we want to see them succeed. We want to give them everything that we can. But I caution you that it can be detrimental if you're not always growing your business first. So working off the list really helps me stay focused, helps me be productive during my work time, so that I'm not borrowing family time, right? Because you still have to do those things. So if you're not doing it in your business working hours, it's got to come from somewhere else. You don't want to pull it from your family time. That's going to create resentment. Turning off your notifications on Facebook, I always do that. Follow the 80-20 rule. So what I mean by that is 80% of your time, your business hours, and please set business hours for yourself so you know when you're going to be working your power hour. 80% of that time that you spend working your business needs to be on your business. Things that are going to move your business forward. Inviting, making new friend requests, connecting with new people, working your social media. 80%. 20% is on developing your team. Because you're not going to be good to your team if you're not also growing your own business. Okay? That was a hard lesson I had to learn last year. All right, treat your business like the $1 million business it is. Really, guys, $140, $40 to invest to start up this business is mind-blowing. You can start this business for $40, and it can give you the return of $1 million. When you treat it like a business, okay, so really be honest with yourself and say, am I really giving this my all? Have I really committed 110%, to really get the return that I want to get? Ensure your actions and activities match your goals. So many times I see, these coaches say, oh, gosh, I want to be, this rank, or I want to help this many people. And then, not all goals are meant to be met. They're meant to be, help you stretch and push yourself and see what you're capable of. When that goal doesn't get met, you just push your date down. You push it up again, push your date up again, and up again. Rather than adjusting your activities to help you get to that goal. There's a reason you're missing that goal. It's because your actions aren't matching your goal. So I challenge you to adjust your actions, not goal date. Okay? Immerse yourself in your craft. Be a student always. Just because I'm standing up here today as an elite coach, 2-time elite, 7-star qualifying, you can bet your bottom dollar I am still developing myself. I'm still learning my craft. I'm still a student of this business. You never stop growing, no matter where you're at in this business. There's always something you can do better, no matter what it is. The top coach, Melanie Mitro, she never stops growing herself. Just because you are at a certain level or a certain place, there's always something you can do better. And then just overcome your fears, guys. Fear of failure is a mindset. Like I said before, I would challenge you to embrace fear, embrace failure, because then, only then, can you experience the pendulum, the opposite side of great success. All right, we talked a lot about including your spouse in decisions. So early on, I was challenged. I was asked to make a dream board or vision board. I had no idea what this person was talking about. How many people have no idea what a dream board is? All right, I didn't either. I had never done one. I told you before, I never had goals or dreams. I was just a farmer girl, growing up in a small town Loyal with Amish and my neighbors. I was content. A dream board had changed how I looked at things, how I worked my business every day because I had that visual reminder of what I was working for, all right? So then once I did one for my business, I thought, you know what? Like there are family goals on here. There are like goals that I want to contribute back to our community. I want to be able to donate more money to our church. Like those are family goals. They're not really business goals. So Adam and I sat down together and we started making family dream boards, not just my personal dream board, but family goals. So I have, them divided up. Our financial goals, our personal fitness goals, we have family, so date nights. We want to build a home in a year or two, so that's on there. My rank goals are on there. I want to really develop a team of leaders this year in my business. So that's my dream board. And really what it is, for those of you who might not know, you can just go on to pickmonkey.com, and Google images that are motivating, inspiring to you. What are your top 5, 6 goals that you want to achieve in the year or in the next month, in the next 6 months? And those are going to change because some of those goals you're going to hit early, some of them you're going to hit, maybe not hit. So you can go back and adjust that and change it as you need to. But I have mine as my screensaver on my phone, on my computer. I have it printed out on my bulletin board, so I'm seeing it daily as a constant reminder of what I'm working for every day I sit down on my computer. Recognition. If your spouse is a coach of yours on your team, which hopefully he is, your significant other, give them recognition too. It makes my husband feel so good, and I just give him kudos for the work he does, even if it's like making dinner or watching the kids, or when I advance him to start Hyman. Just talking about their role in the business. It's going to help your marriage. Coaching really has helped our marriage a lot. We're always fighting about money before, so that is a huge difference. But just it's brought us closer. Like I said, it's given him the ability to dream and chase the life that he wants also. So give them recognition too. They deserve it. They do a lot. All right, talked about that already. All right, so now what? I'm already on time. I want you guys to go back. If you have not created a dream board, a vision board, do one for yourself, and then also include your spouse. Make a family dream board. What do you guys want to achieve as a family? For us, it was travel. It was being able to, like I said, donate more for our church. It was to be able to build our dream home. We live in our home is over 100 years old, and it's a farm home, and the basement is unusable. We thought we'd be there, forever, really. We did a lot of home improvements when we moved in, but it's not where we want to be long term. And without Beachbody coaching, I would never be able to say, I want to build our home and design it how we want to be, how our home wants to be. It's crazy. I want you guys to establish business hours and commit to a regular weekly schedule with non-negotiable family time. You have to find that balance between business and family. And if it means you not watching TV, I promise you, you guys will survive. I haven't watched TV. My husband gets on me because I don't even watch the news, which is maybe bad, but I'm either working or I'm with family, and that's, for me, perfect balance. All right, commit to attend trainings and events. This is kind of like preaching to the choir because you guys are all here and you made time to attend today. But I can tell you, going to events is only going to help your business, no matter if it's Summit or if it's a Super Saturday or if it's just like getting together with a group of your coaching team and meet up for coffee on a Sunday afternoon and have a team building session. Right? The more face-to-face you can do and get together with other coaches, it's only going to help you. And then work from a list to maximize your productivity, such as the business activity tracker. If that one doesn't work for you, come up with one of your own. It's the same activities. Find something that works for you to keep you accountable to the activities that you need to do every day. And really, I just want to end with Beachbody shouldn't be your life. It really is a tool to give you a life. I want to challenge you guys to really dream big and picture yourself with your vision statement that you've created today. If you could do anything you want, unlimited resources, unlimited money, what would that be? With your family, with your husband, with your kids. And I want you guys to actively pursue that and chase after it, and don't stop until you get there. So, thank you very much for listening. Do you guys want to have a little fun and do a question and answer quiz? I think you guys are going to be setting up for something, right? All We want to give you an opportunity to ask the Star Diamond coaches, leaders, maybe business tips.
Come on up.
You guys want to bring a chair?
What is? If you guys don't mind, just like sitting on stage.
Yeah, we don't need this, right?
No, we can.
Does somebody want to? Why don't we? Here, I'll walk around.
Oh, just where's this at the station? That's putting on the spot.
Yeah. Did I hit someone?